everybody. Welcome back to OTT Executive Podcast. I'm Brian Mahoney, the CEO of Trend Research and the president of the 50,000 plus member OTT Executive Community. I'm very excited. I'm here at StreamTV Show here in Denver, and I'm joined by Colin, Petrie, Norris. Welcome, Colin.
Lovely to see you. Yeah, very excited to be here and enjoying the not so lovely Denver weather at the moment.
I know, it's supposed to be dry here all the time.
Pouring with rain. It feels a lot like Southern California at the moment, frankly. So, but yes, nice to be here. Good to see you too. Thanks for following up and asking me for the interview, and I'm glad to be here with you.
Yeah, it's great. And Colin's been a great supporter over the years. You've spoken at our summit in the past, and I appreciate that. And you've been a big supporter of StreamTV too. So,
yeah, we are actually this year we are a diamond sponsor of the event because it's grown very, very significantly. It is a terrific audience of people, very impressed with the attendees. Everybody seems very fired up, very like this. Obviously, the free TV is sort of this like under this the priority. A lot of people are talking about, but streaming more broadly, I think, as you obviously it continues to find resonance in U.S. households and across actually now internationally as well, more and more. So I think this has been really good for us. We've learned a lot, met with a lot of partners, and looking forward to cocktail night tonight.
I'll be there for sure. I'll be there. It'll be fun.
You are in the VIP list for sure.
I think I'm a speaker, so does that get me in?
Yeah, a little true. There is it's a little bit there's this perception that there's a VIP. Everybody's a VIP, right? Everybody gets in, or you just show up.
I want to feel special.
We'll make you feel good.
Okay,
you can show
me the back door.
Absolutely.
Well, listen, Colin. We like to sort of personalize some of the luminaries in the industry, and maybe start a little bit about your career, kind of how you got to where you are today.
I am a structural engineer that specializes in water retaining concrete design.
Perfect fit for your job.
Which naturally that tells you that I was already on a path to where I am in streaming TV. I graduated University of Cape Town, worked as a civil engineer for a few years, and then I was recruited by Capital One.
Okay.
Who were looking for engineers to join a joint venture with the South African bank. And so I moved from building roller coasters and designing the log flume ride in a roller coaster.
That's a whole nother story. Maybe tonight.
And also doing low-cost housing projects in South Africa, which is one of the most rewarding times of my life, moving communities out of squatter camps into houses that we were building for them. I then went into Capital One, financial services, lending products for the underserved communities in South Africa. I moved with them to Nottingham in England, and then into the States. A friend of mine from Capital One started an online advertising startup using some of the same theories we built at Capital One to try and predict whether people would respond to a digital ad. And it was called advertising.com. It was one of the first big ad networks. We sold that to AOL in 2005. I went to Europe. I ran ad.com Europe. And been in the ad business for most of my life. I like online advertising.
But that was your first foray into the digital kind of world.
Yeah. Okay. So again, it's really the ads and the science of running the ad engine is really what's fascinating. How to use the data-based strategies to optimize, an advertising, and that's really what took me into the Xumo side, which was about 13 years ago now.
Was it that long, really?
Seems like yesterday. My colleague Jiro Igawa today, he and I started the business together. He was at Panasonic, and I was at Specific Media Buyant, the ad business. And we got to talking about how to do video advertising in smart TVs. Of course, there was nowhere to put a video ad in a smart TV. And it was it was actually with Panasonic, with LG. They said, let's try put the video let's get some content, put it in the guide, not just in the UI, but in the guide of the TV. We managed to
in the EPG itself.
In the EPG.
Embedded. Yeah.
And then the magic happened in Xumo, and we found that people would just watch lots of video, and the ads could run, and that was the genesis we started working on that with them in 2014. We launched 2017, so thereabouts. And then Xumo has just gone on from really our core is this like delivering and helping companies get into the fast space, the free TV space. But we also have our consumer-facing application where you can enjoy everything that's good about Xumo in an app you can download on your phone or your your smart TV. And then we were acquired by Comcast
How long ago was that?
in 2020.
Seems ages ago, but yeah.
Which was quite. We were acquired by Comcast. I got up on the Friday to announce the acquisition, and the next week had to get up again to say, and we're all going home for COVID. And so it was there. It was right at the same time. It was the end of February, March 2020.
I remember. Yep.
And with Comcast, the business has grown. It's going to, like, obviously COVID was a sad part of our lives, but also for the streaming TV, it was a huge growth.
Mixed blessing for sure.
Mixed blessing.
Yeah.
And Xumo did very well, grew. And then a couple of years ago, we started talking to what's next for the video ecosystem. Comcast has built this array of incredible video platforms. Starting with their X1 box, which they started in 2013 or so, the first video box to bring apps on board.
We got in our house.
And Comcast has always been thinking about the platform approach and how to innovate there. And they built the Flex boxes. They launched the X-Class TVs. They've done incredible work with Sky. And Fraser Sterling, our chief product officer in the UK, has built a phenomenal video platform. And the idea was with Charter, we got to talking to them to say, well, let's really lean into this. Let's bring this platform national.
Okay.
That's just previously in footprint.
And that's the joint partnership.
And that's the new. And so now we are today, as of about coming up for a year ago, we started this joint venture or this new era with Xumo together with Charter. And a fun fact was we weren't going to call it Xumo, but we did. It was one of the most.
So what was the calculus that went into that decision?
There's a lot of research done on what did the brand stand for. People actually, it scored really well with consumers. It made sense in terms of it's a new name. It did stand for streaming. It was a good foundation that we can now shape this new story on. So Xumo today is originally the Xumo business, these channels that we help build. It's the application, but it's also a smart TV OS and a streaming box OS that is available for our partners and particularly in TV operaters or broadband operators, and then also our retail presence as well.
So you've got the app, the streaming app, the consumer facing side. You've got sort of the fast channel. Would you call that white label?
White label or syndication business.
Yeah. You got the joint partnership, and then you got the OS. Did I cover it?
That's right.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So how does this fit into the larger portfolio, including Peacock and Flex and that whole sort of brand portfolio? Maybe you can take us through that a little bit.
I think it fits in very naturally. I think first of all, Comcast, the Xumo brand is really about the streaming. It's about the platform.
Yes.
And I think that is, while people would commonly know or have understood as like a Flex box, which is now being rebranded as Xumo Stream, like the new, it will be rebranded as Xumo Stream Box. Okay. We see our role as providing that platform, the foundation upon which video businesses can run. Xumo also licenses content. We sort of enrich it with our fast channels, but something like Peacock is a very important partner on our platforms. It's it's an app sitting on that platform. Correct. We're an operating system, and the app is present just like Netflix and Amazon and others are. But having the platform and owning the platform allows us the ability to sort of prioritize it the right way, give the right access so Peacock and we work very closely together with them. It's a very symbiotic relationship. I haven't used the word symbiotic in a little while. You can use it here. It's a safe place. I think it's fair enough. And there's a tremendous amount of collaboration, and we work I think it is a 1 + 1 = 3. We can work very well together. Yeah. We're a Comcast home, Peacock. Is that what? So my kids are big into soccer, right? And they get the Premier League. Is it through Peacock? Peacock. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah. No, so in a terrific lineup as well. Peacock doing very well. As a business, doing very well, hitting all its goals, and very excited what we see with Peacock. That's great. That's awesome. So let's take it to sort of where we are today. We're here at the show. What are the big trends in the industry right now? I mean, obviously, a lot of people talk about FAST. Is that a fad? Does that have legs? What does the future of FAST look like? I do think, and obviously I'm a little biased here as having been in the very early days of before it was called FAST. I'm thrilled beyond, I can't describe to you how nice it is to come to a show like this and to hear it's on everybody's sort of in their minds. They're from big content companies to platforms to advertisers. I do think the theme of what we see also MIPCOM in France, and I guess we see this thematically emerge as an important thing. I think FAST is only really just beginning.
Okay.
If you look at how broadly it's enjoyed by US consumers, where I think you've seen different stats, but just over half of US households are watching free TV from nothing a few years ago. They are typical consumers are watching using between 1 and 2 FAST apps. There's upside there. People could use a lot. There's no subscription. It's not like when you subscribe to an SVOD service, there's this hesitation.
Right.
I'm subscribing to 4. Do I need that? You just go and you watch it. You can flit in, flit out.
Yeah.
So I think there's both growth in terms of the number of consumers in the US who will watch it. It'll be growth in terms of the number of applications that they will enjoy. And then I think the content is getting better. Content is getting really exciting. And we're going to see the time per user also increase as well. So, yeah, I think FAST, I think we've got more to go, more to come. And it would be bad for me not to, or mistaken for me not to talk to you about also the platforms like Netflix and Amazon.
Okay.
And others leaning into that free TV.
Which Netflix said they never would, but never say never.
And here we
right?
are.
Right.
I think again, it sort of all validates the fact that there's an important role for consumers and for the industry with this free TV, free or ad-supported TV. It's sort of coming back into fashion.
How much of it is the business model, the fact that it's free? How much of it is it's linear, lean back, more of a curated experience for the consumer, combination? Like, what do you think the real draw is, for consumers?
Look, free matters. Like, honestly, that is a pretty nice thing to sell around, and it's great. And people spend hours with it every day, and it's really so. I like that as my opening position with what we have to offer. But I think what's more important is that the way the platforms are integrating it. We here at Stream today announced. We've had an incredible 6 months at Xumo where we've launched free TV products with Google TV. They've now added our channels. Comcast Stream has now integrated our channels into their application. Now TV, the new Comcast low-cost subscription package, has fast channels in it. Also,
and that's a partnership too, right?
This is also is Xumo helping getting in there and helping power these solutions.
Yeah.
And then today I did mention that the X1 platform, the core mothership of the Comcast portfolio, very soon will also carry our channels or some free TV channels. So the point why it works, Brian, is it's not just a app out in the distance you got to go find and think about and download. They're presented natively and naturally embedded in the guide. So the discovery is really
so it's even easier, taking off the financial reasons, all the different objections, right?
Yeah.
And the effort now. It's all right there.
That's
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that's, I think what's going to happen is more again, and like I think the content industry has moved from it's been the confines of, in the early days, it was short form clips was all they would put in their fast channels. Mm-hmm. Then along came live news and how that sort of suddenly elevated the offering. And then came movie studios. Movie studios were starting to unlock parts of their library that previously only available for subscription platforms, and now getting them into free TV because it's so big and it's thriving. So I think we're going to see more of that, better and better quality content coming into the free TV era. So question. I think that's the theme.
It's a good starting point,
but I think
right?
But I think yes, I'm certainly an enthusiast, if nothing else.
Okay, for sure. So let's talk a little bit more about that content discovery journey. So in my house, we use the Comcast remote. Everything's voice now. It's incredible how that 5-6 years ago that was a toy, and now it's like it's sort of a core thing. And then you still have the challenge, though, right, of mapping the right content to the consumer. If you talk about FAST specifically, it's curated, but what is the role for let's say AI, right? What is the role for intelligence to be able to map the content to the consumer? We can talk about that a little bit.
I'll tell you, if you want to take a step back and just look at the space, I'll give you when we started, I used to ask Stefan, our head of content, I was like, Stefan, how many phone calls have you made this week trying to get us more content?
He's such a good guy.
And he's a great guy. And he'd be like, I made 10 phone calls, whatever it was. You compare that to today, where we have 10 inbound requests a day coming to us with, I've got content, I want to be in the space. You think about what that means in terms of the ecosystem is there will be a proliferation. Today, there in a guide and a platform, there's anything between 200 and 300 channels, sometimes 400, 500 even. Conceptually, that could be 5,000, 50,000 in 5-10 years time.
Right.
The barrier for entry has come down.
Yeah.
And quality is varied, but solving the discovery problem is everything. I can't stress enough. Trying to match your consumer to something they want to watch is the most important part of the file. It's actually, I'm very, like, not a lot of people talk about that.
Yeah.
But a guide doesn't, you can't just add 1,000 channels to a guide and
You
hope
can
it
scroll
works.
forever. You can't do that.
You can't do
Yeah.
that. Nobody, it's actually, people will actually veer away from the service because of the channel bloat or the perception of it. So finding an elegant way to help a consumer find the stuff they want. And that's what I'm excited about with the Comcast platform. That's where we're leaning into and thinking about that discovery process. And I think that'll be something we really aim to really do very well. And help.
So some innovation coming down in the future around.
That's right, yeah.
Discovery. Okay, that's really important. So one of the things we like to do in these podcasts is sort of personalize some of the luminaries and get to know them a little bit better, some interest or hobby or something you can share with our audience.
I'll tell you. So I think I was going to say cycling, but I've been off for a little while because of my. I had a hip replacement.
Oh no! Okay, it's the age.
It's
Okay,
an age and
overuse injury. Maybe.
But I have a rescue dog, Flounder.
Oh.
I'm giving some credits there.
Is it a corgi mix?
No, it's a mutt.
Oh, mutt. Okay.
He's the mutt. So I've become a big dog person.
Yeah.
So yeah, he comes. We have a dog-friendly office in Irvine. It's one of the few.
Oh, nice.
And he comes into work with me every day. So I guess I'm going to say that. That's when I'll pick. I'm sorry, I'll show you the photo.
That's great. Well, we have two Scottish Terriers, so we're big.
Okay,
Yeah, become part of the family. They're hyperallergenic, so my daughter is allergic, but only when they lick her.
Yeah.
Which she seems to do anyhow. You know, it's like the dog. But yeah, we're a big dog family.
Yeah,
so.
no, we are very much so now. Yeah, that's true. So yeah, thanks for looking at the picture of the.
Yeah, I know,
dog.
that's great. We'll share that.
I'm like proud that my teenage boys. They're awesome. They're wonderful, but as they hang out with me less and less, I think the dog becomes more.
Well, that's what happens. They convince you to get the dogs, and we'll take care of it, and it becomes your dog.
Exactly.
We know that. I'm sure. Well, Colin, it's been a pleasure.
Ryan, thank you so much.
Thank
Yeah,
you for your
enjoyed it.
support of the show and for the industry. It's fantastic to see what's happening. 13 years. I can't believe it. It's fantastic. And
I'm a dinosaur now. Yeah.
I mean, him too. I've been doing this since 2007.
Yeah.
So congrats on all your success, and I'll see you at the party tonight.
Thank you so much, Brian.
All right,
Cheerio.
let me sneak into the back door so I look.
You got it.
real special.
I'll give you that.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks a lot. Signing off, everybody. Brian Mahoney, OTT Executive Podcast. Colin, Petrie, Norris. Thank you.
Thank you.